Hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there. Welcome to the Lumiere channel. Welcome to your June 24 and 25 guidance. I'm happy to have you here. I hope you're well. I would do a pick a card guidance for the day, but I actually feel like it's the top card. It's kind of weird. No, please have the guidance for June 24th and 25th, please. Por favor. This little light of mine is playing in my head. That's weird. Okay. What is happening? What is going on? I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. Your guidance today is either to, I don't know, you'll either get some bad news, okay? And that you may need to give someone some bad news, some news that isn't savory for you to give. And also that you may need to be paying attention to something in your world. I'm going to read this. It says 51. And 51 is, I think it's no place like home. Right? No, that's 50. 51 is milk and honey. Huh. It could be that if you get some bad news today, to take it on the chin, take it by the chin, like that saying. I don't know how to say. It's like take it in stride, because I don't think it's I don't want to say I don't think it's all that bad. I feel like it's going to get better, or something good will come of it. Like something decent will come of it. Right? It's already 8. Okay. The protection message of this card says, are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? Red flags are not pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warning you for a reason. If something doesn't sit right with you, trouble could be hiding in the bushes. Don't ignore the signs. Spirit always has your best interest at heart and will draw your attention to what you're overlooking. Okay. Spirit will draw your attention to what you're overlooking. So if there's something that you're overlooking, I'm singing something about rain, either a rainy day or something. Not sure if there's something about like a gas leak, if that's for anybody. If there's something even putting off that could be of importance, maybe don't put it off. Okay. Some decision, not making some type of decision. And here we have 15 and 13. And 14 is truth be told. Truth be told is about some accountability. So if there's some truth that you need to tell somebody, go ahead and tell it. Like I said earlier, it may not be the most savory, but you may have to tell them something. But at the same time, there may be some decision that you're not making, but not making it is also making it, right? So, I was speaking to my mother today, and we were, let me just say it this way. There is some people who will ignore something in the hopes that it will go away. There are some people sometimes, or us, we will ignore things in the hopes that it'll go away. Ignoring things and not talking about them. So this is people who don't talk about writing their will, right? Because they don't want to talk about death. But death is a thing that's going to happen. And if you need to put your affairs in order, do it. Talking about death isn't dooming you to death, right? So I know someone, my gym trainer, when I was out of the country, I was like, oh wow, you do this? You have to be careful. And he goes, why do I have to be careful? I'm like, because bitch, you could die. Like, do you want to end up dead doing this shit? He's like, oh, what do you mean I could die? I have God protecting me. I'm like, bitch, okay, yeah, like, you definitely have God protecting you, but what the fuck? Like, you want him to be working fucking overtime? You can't fucking, that's like somebody not wearing protection and just having a fucking fuck fest. Excuse my you know what? Excuse my language. Having a whole freaking orgy and not wrapping that shit up and thinking, no, God won't let anybody get pregnant, or I won't get any diseases. Bitch, that shit is, that is a natural, if A, then B, okay? That does not mean that I don't believe in God. I don't believe God is watching you. But at the same fucking time, like, God is not your crutch. Okay, bitch? Anyway, what I'm saying is, it's almost like when we choose to ignore something, um, anything, all the examples that are coming up in my head are like really dangerous, like breaks in a car, gas leak in the house. What's something? When we have, like, I don't know, let's say we have like a string loose on our shirt, and we choose to not change shirts before leaving the house, and we leave the house. Who knows if that string will get caught, and then it'll just unravel while you're out, right? So choosing not to choose, you've chosen not to pay attention to that, and it just winds up getting worse than it needed to. Never-ending story. This softens the message a little bit. It's a heavy card, right? But it does soften the message. The never-ending story is a lot more emotional, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie. This talks about, this tells me a story of obviously the stories that we tell ourselves. If you're trying to call in something and you keep, let's use these words, attracting the same thing, you keep calling in the same thing, or if you're not even trying to call in anything, right, but you keep attracting the same thing, and you are obviously upset by the fact that you keep attracting the same thing, have you made the choice to no longer attract the same thing? Have you made the choice to choose differently, choose different actions that won't give you the same thing that you've been giving yourself, that you've been getting? So this is I want love, but not taking the steps to get love, not taking the steps to put yourself in front of love. If you want to have love, there's a myriad of ways you could find someone. There are so many dating apps these days. It's a whole franchise, okay? I mean, it's a whole, like, business. There's people out there in the world. The same people who are on the dating apps are also in the real fucking world, okay? There's the people in your life. Hey, do you know anybody? There's saying hello to strangers. There's going to places that you don't usually go to. There's being more open. What are the steps that you're actually taking? Or are you just coasting and seeing what comes your way? And that's not to say that's a bad thing. It's just, if that's not been working, if you're not doing anything different, then you're essentially telling yourself a story that you're not really physically ready to take upon and enter into with, like, physical commitment. So if you're waiting for things to happen, why not do a baby step and go to different places that you may meet different types of people? Say yes to invitations that you wouldn't normally say yes to, just to get yourself out there, because that could be a sign that you're ignoring keeping the status quo and not upping your involvement in that. And you continuously tell yourself a story of this won't work out, it'll never work out, and that's what continuously gets called into your world. So if you're unaware of this, you can look at what in your life keeps repeating that you don't want, that keeps you small, that keeps you down, and see how you can make a decision to actually pivot that and then move it in a different direction, at least with that mental decision, and then also adding on those physical actions. If this is something that you say, oh, I will always be in a depression, or always get into a depression, stop calling that in, man. Stop putting that on your soul. Stop putting that in your spirit. Stop putting that in your heart. Stop doing that shit to yourself. Don't do that. Make the choice. I'm not saying that depression is something that people choose to be into, but there's a choice that we make that same day that, when you wake up in the morning, we're choosing to live. We're choosing to take that into our hands and say, you know what, today I'm going to choose to live. Today I'm going to choose and try to do this, that, and the other. So what I mean by that, because I know depression is a very sensitive subject. It's, how do I say that? It's like when we're feeling low, it shows up in our body, okay? So when I was going through it, honey, okay, dark night of the soul is the spiritual term for sometimes fucking depression, okay? When I was going through it, there was sleep. Sleep is my bae, and sleep is my vice, and so is food. If you're gonna spend time sleeping, is there a way you can maybe decide and say, oh, let me just take a walk? If it's not walking around outside, it's walking in your room, walking from door to window, walking from door to closet, even if it's 2 steps, just doing something, walking around from your kitchen to this spot in your house so you're not laying down for too long, walking around for 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then you can lay down, and doing something different to sort of break that, break that in you, break that pattern. If it's food is another vice of mine. I fucking love food. Food is bae. How can I navigate that space? Maybe as opposed to eating this and that, I can eat something different. Yes, I'm hungry. Yes, I want to eat my emotions. But you know what I'm going to eat? I'm going to eat some fucking greens. Right? So if I'm going to eat my emotions, at least I'm eating something that can help my body in some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? So there's little tweaks that we can make. Little tweaks. I'm not asking you to change the world, but I am asking you to do it. Change the world overnight. But I am asking you here to do something different, to make an actual choice. There's something that you may have been ignoring, something that you haven't been making a choice on. It could be something small too. It could be something that you've been worried about. You know what? I'll do it later. You know what? I'll think about it tomorrow. Procrastinating on, And it's like, yo, time's drawing near. There are consequences here if you don't move. It could be you losing an opportunity. It could be you losing a person. I don't know. A moment. It could be you having to wait another year if you don't look up this information, right? If you don't see what the qualifications are and you're just waiting. It's good to do that. If you have a friend going through this, help them get their butt in gear. Help them look up the information that they need. Help them do what they need to do today, because it may be a little bit too late. Maybe they just need someone to listen to them, to help them unpack all the thoughts in their mind over them not making whatever decision they're not making. So this could also be hitting just really on the moment of procrastination, where what are you procrastinating on? What are you leaving until the very last minute? Because the last minute may have been yesterday, So think about it. Listen to this reading again, because I feel like we talked about a number of ranges. A number of things. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, honey. Keep your light on. Good luck.